My best in college football this weekend. You know what? It wasn't a scoreboard ball blowing out performance, but Max Johnson, inserted into A&M, comes in as a starter, 2-0 against two ranked teams. Did Miami look bad against Middle Tennessee State? Yeah, but that was this week. A&M beat them last week. You beat a good Arkansas team this week. We're gonna do grade that team later. Talk about this game, but it's not all. And me and Aaron Murray were talking about this on social media because there's some A&M fans where all I tweeted out was Max Johnson as the starter for A&M, 2-0. That's it. That's it. Some guys are like, oh well, there's so many quarterbacks that had better games. So what? Nobody is saying that Max Johnson is going to win the Heisman. Nobody is saying that Max Johnson is going to win the Maxwell Award. Nobody's saying he's going to win the Davey O'Brien Award. Hell, Connor Wegman, at the end of the day, when his career's over, is probably going to be a better player than what Max Johnson was. But he's the right guy for right now. Why? What is he not doing? Turning the ball over, which is a lot. It sounds a lot easier than it really is when you have guys at A&M. And look, Evan Stewart's got a ton of talent. We know A-Chain can absolutely skate Apollo Ono style. But they don't have a ton of vertical threat weapons that are able to open up a ton underneath. Max Johnson is taking care of the ball. He's making good decisions, and he's making the throws when he has to. The throw fading away on smash, the first touchdown pass he threw, the anticipation on that was nuts. Haynes King isn't making 60, 70% of these throws. Better yet, Haynes King isn't making 80% of these decisions, and Haynes King was panicking in the pocket. Max is not panicking. Hell, there were 2 or 3 times where it was a bad snap, Max dropped it, picked it up, went and made a play. One time on third down that was huge. And he is using his legs effectively. How many times against Arkansas did he bail A&M out of a 3-and-out by using his legs? Playing the quarterback position isn't just about passing yards. We get enthralled with stats sometimes, and stats tell a lot. But stats are like previews for movies. They tell you a decent amount, but they don't give you the full story of what happened. And Max Johnson coming into A&M, it's like it's a calming presence for the whole team, because they know, A, somebody's in there that can actually throw the ball effectively, that will take smart chances when they take chances, and somebody that is athletic enough to extend the play not only from inside the pocket, but outside of the pocket. So the best for me is Max Johnson coming in to a situation at A&M where everybody is freaking out because of what happened against App State. A lot of uncertainty in the offense. You were last in the country basically in explosive plays. Now, were you going up against the best secondary ever in Arkansas? No, they're actually one of the worst. They've been beat up. They got some young guys there. The rotation's kind of screwed up. But Max Johnson is doing what he has to do to win for A&M. And at the end of the day, bringing stability to A&M right now and giving them a chance to win this game with the talent around him is the best position that A&M can be in my mind.
I don't understand why there's so much pushback on Max Johnson from Texas A&M.
Because it's not this sexy. It's not that. Number one, Connor Wegman's always going to be super popular because he's the 5-star. But people forget. Max Johnson threw for over 3,000 yards at LSU, 27 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
While getting yelled at from Ed Orgeron to not throw the football to tight end because
exactly
their wide receiver.
And their offensive line was getting, absolutely destroyed on the reg, where he was having to run around for his life like he's trying to escape North Korea.
I mean, if I completed a pass to a tight end and the coach yelled at me for throwing to a tight end because we're wide receiver I would transfer too.
I would transfer
too. Even when the coach got fired.
During the game, I'd leave.
That's what I'm saying. I transfer the other team.
Yeah, he's not going to win the Heisman Trophy, man. Look, if you fell in love with watching Johnny Manziel spin around in the pocket and beat Alabama, Max Johnson's not going to win the Heisman Trophy. Texas A&M's not going to win every game for the rest of the season. Max Johnson's going to throw some interceptions. I understand all that. But you know what? I think if that kid starts against Appalachian State, I think Texas A&M wins that football game. You know what else? He reminds me of Stetson Bennett. He reminds me of Stetson Bennett in terms of the ability to control the game, complete the passes he's supposed to, not turn the football over. And you see an example where Stetson Bennett has an amazing team around him and is able to win the national championship. I think that's kind of the ceiling that could be there for Max Johnson if he had the pieces and the weapons around him and was being supported in the same capacity.
Max is like a 6 with a great personality. Right, that's what he is. And you got to love that.
7?
6 or 7. I give him a 7
Okay.
too, with a great personality.
7 dressed up?
And and you can't always go for the 10, right?
Sure.
10. Haynes King, I would say, is a 9 with a crappy personality, right? It doesn't last. It's a couple weeks, just doesn't feel the same. Next thing you know, you're calling Max up again. Max can
miss
cook. He's understanding, communicates well.
Doesn't yell at you all the time.
Doesn't yell at you all the
about
time.
leaving cupboards open in the kitchen.
And that's the type of stuff
Stuff
Max
like
is
that.
just the guy that A&M needs right now. And it's a great move that they got him in the portal, because without him, it'd be a mess.
Yeah,
Be a bad relationship.
Yeah.
Rocky
just
for
imagine
this.
if Zach Calzada was there getting hurt during wiffle ball games. Anyways, what was your best?
What's
Gunn?
my best for college football? The state of Kansas.
Yeah.
The state of Kansas. I mean, look, Jayhawks are 4-0. Jalen Daniels was 19 of 23, 324 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. I'm talking about Kansas.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
They
basketball.
clicked their heels together and figured it out.
They figured it out. I mean, look, I didn't see that coming. I really did not see that coming for Kansas, but they've had an incredible start to the season. And then Kansas State.
Yeah.
Kansas State. I had a fan tweet at me today, said Kansas State's won 4 of their last 6 in Norman. Adrian Martinez threw for 234 yards, had another 148 on the ground with 5 total touchdowns. You want to talk about
he played his game.
story?
That
You
was
talk
the
about a
most
redemption
Kansas State
story,
game
man? Yeah.
offensively.
I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, it was. Blaine, what was yours?
Mine, this team didn't win. All right?
Then how's it at best?
Because you scored 22 points. Kent State versus Georgia.
Okay.
Look, coming from a guy who picked Georgia minus 43, I felt great about this. I told myself that the couple of things I will do every weekend is I'm going to bet the Iowa under whoever they're playing, and I'm going to bet the Georgia spread, because I feel like Georgia's going to
That's not a bad
kill everybody
theory.
after what I saw against Oregon. South Carolina scored 7 points, and that was on the
South Carolina?
and that was in the fourth quarter against Georgia's threes,
Yeah.
who are better than most teams. Oregon scored 3 points. If I'm Kent State and I'm going out recruiting kids, I'm just having that score.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
exactly
look, we're
right.
better in South Carolina. It's like, I mean, realistically, we're probably a top 8 team in the nation. We scored 22 points against these
Did you
guys.
see that screen
What
game?
other teams?
Did you see that screen
Can
game?
Oregon, cool uniforms, Nike, just do it. But Kent State, we're just doing it on the scoreboard.
That's exactly
All right.
right.
So good. I know you lost with Kent State, but this is a loss disguised in a win.
Like they say, there's no such thing as moral victories.
That
but there
is.
are sometimes moral victories.
You scored 22 points against Georgia. That's a more.
There's good recruiting fodder. there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Doing a lot better than Akron right now. Boring. My worst. Missouri, we need to talk for a second.
Oh no! Take a seat.
no.
Oh no!
Yeah, I need you to take a seat.
Chris Hansen.
Are you in the chat as we just blew it, 49-49? So here's my thing. I've seen teams lose games before. I've seen them lose in horrible fashion. Hell, I watched the kick six, stuff like that. The Michigan punt, Michigan State.
That's twice.
That's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's bringing up
what? No.
heartbreakers.
Why
That's
can I not
twice
use
today.
examples?
That's twice.
Why can I not
today.
use
There's
examples?
still facts.
Yeah. I have not seen a team blow it twice. It's conspiracy. Like, to me,
You
it's
think it was a
conspiracy.
conspiracy?
It's to that point. Mevis, I need to see your text messages. Like the kicker from Missouri, I need to look at them because I feel like there's.
You're checking the
This
kid's
is like
cell
I'm getting
phone?
a bad sport Netflix show type of vibe here. You miss a 26-yard field goal.
He didn't warm up.
Yeah, that doesn't warm up. You're gonna warm up now, or you're fired. Pun intended. It was so bad the announcer from Missouri called the field goal good. That's how close it was. Okay, and you know what? You missed a field goal. He said, "Oh, I felt pressure from my left." Look, you can feel pressure from your left. You can feel pressure from your right. You can feel pressure from the top. You can feel pressure from the bottom. You got to make the 26-yard field goal. All right, so you missed that. All right, we go overtime, right? Auburn comes out, offense, absolute garbage. It's a dumpster fire that's wrapped inside of a sanitation place that just caught fire that's enveloped in a world of inferno hot magma fire. That's how bad Auburn is right now.
That's garbage.
These were two bad teams. Like, I got worse by watching this game. Like, as a football person, I got worse. So Auburn makes the field goal. Missouri, 3 plays. You got a guy that's going to walk in the end zone. At worst, you're knocked out at the 2. You'll find a way to score a touchdown. And you fumble the ball going into the end zone because you're changing hands to stick it out, and Auburn wins the game. if I'm Eli Drinkwitz, I don't know what to say after that game. I don't know what to say to y'all. I don't know what to say to anybody.
What do you say, Coach?
What am I saying?
Coach Drink, tell
Okay.
the team.
All right.
I think we have that clip too, by the way.
Yeah. I'm coming in, and here's the team sitting down looking at me and be like, guys, this is the moment where I'm supposed to tell all of you that everything will be okay. It happens for a reason, and we just need to keep fighting. Well, that's not what I'm here to say. Mevis, stand up. I want you to look at everybody around here. If anybody wants to pick on anybody or bully anybody, that's the guy.
Wow.
Because I'm not looking. You
Just
blew it for everybody.
Bullying
Then
like
running
that.
back, stand up. Stand up. I want you to explain to everyone why you blew the game the way that you did. I didn't blow the game. Coaches didn't blow the game. Brady Cook didn't blow the game. Offensive line, stand up. Hey, y'all pat each other on the back. Y'all didn't blow the game. Y'all two, here's what we're going to do. I got a Greyhound bus ticket for each one of you guys because you ain't getting back on this bus. I don't want you around the team. And people say, oh, well, that's so mean. Look, this is a high-level football. Y'all got NIL now. I don't want to hear nothing. You got NIL. There's no crying. There's no I'm upset or any of this stuff. You blew it. It's like Billy Madison when he got old boy to call the teacher, Veronica Vaughn. So hot. You blew it. And you know what the saddest part is? This is the worst thing that could have happened for Auburn. The absolute worst thing that could have happened. Because it's like, all right, terminally ill, we'll try this. We'll eat this plant to see if it works. Oh, it made you feel better for 30 minutes. Well, you're still probably not going to make it. But it's just going to prolong it. Auburn loses this game. I think Brian Harson's fired the same day. Probably fired on Sunday. Put you like these doing old people on the villages. Put them on the raft, push them down the river. Everybody's got to be able to eat food here. You're too old. But now, after this, the magic in Jordan Hare, and people said, oh, Jake, what are you talking about? We're for Penn State. What do you mean the magic? That's what I mean. What do I mean? That is what I mean. I have never seen a team blow it twice in short order like that. In the worst way, the most controllable way. And Missouri, you screwed Auburn. You think you screwed yourself. Y'all were bad to begin with. You screwed Auburn. So now we got to wait another week, maybe another couple weeks. Who knows what will happen in the LSU game? Who knows? Chris Pratt will probably come out of a portal as LSU's throwing a game-winning touchdown pass as time expires to tell us the White Spikes are going to be here in 2 years.
Not that.
Were they playing 3D chess and saying, we'll take this loss now so that we can keep beating Auburn for years to come?
Look, something happened.
The long game.
Look, something. I don't know what Ouija board Eli Drinkwitz has or what's going on.
Look,
This made me
so bad
sick.
for Drink.
And it just as a guy that coached in the business.
Oh.
In the business. I don't know how. It'd be so hard for me to watch this film knowing what's going to happen. Like, man, that was a great third down run there. Halfway through the second quarter, but I bet we blow it.
You just became public enemy number one for the Elderly Association of America and the anti-bulliers.
I would say the
EAOA?
The
EAOA?
The allies of the elderly and the anti-bullying.
The allies
Don't worry
of
about
the
the first
elderly.
one because they'll forget. You'll be fine. But, I just feel bad for Drink. Coach Drink, I love Coach Drink, but like you're sitting there, it's like it's my fault. It's my fault because I recruited you. It's my fault. I thought in my head,
It's unforgivable to me.
I looked at film and was like, this is the guy. And it's my fault. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I want it to
that's
hurt.
the worst.
I want
and
it
that's
to
the
hurt.
worst. Let's go ahead and run this. Let's run this clip. So Missouri, all they have to do is score a touchdown to win, and Brian Harson's fired. Just watch this. Pistols just zone left. Oh my God. If you're on audio, I'm telling you right now, and you didn't see this. Now I want you to know, they missed a 26-yard field goal as time expired. And the only reason this guy didn't score is because he switched the ball. He's running down the left side. He's running down the left side, switches the ball to his right, puts it out, and it goes.
How do you even roll Toomer's corner after that?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't roll
You
Toomer's
don't.
after that?
I've
No.
never. That's the first time in my life I've ever been upset after Auburn won a game.
I'm telling you, this it's bad for Auburn.
And I hate that. I never thought I'd get to that point. But right when that happened, I was mad.
Don't say
Me
that.
too.
Don't say that.
I was legitimately mad when that guy fumbled in the end zone.
I
was
was.
legit-
I was too.
Y'all were both
We didn't
mad?
deserve to
Because
win.
I look at long term.
Oh.
Long term. Short term? Okay. Long term? It was terrible. What was your worst, Cone?
My worst was Miami. The
That was
Miami
bad.
Hurricanes losing to Middle
It's bad.
Tennessee State University. Tyler Van Dyke got pulled out of the game. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, 16 of 32 for 138 yards. 2 interceptions on his first 2 passes. One of them returned for a touchdown, got replaced by a redshirt freshman. It's not good, but I'll tell you what. Mario Cristobal, here's how you know you got the right guy in charge. You talking about the long term? Here's how you know. He said, real men look in the mirror and do something about it and don't allow any cracks to happen from the inside. We got a lot of work to do.
For sure. Well, it's funny, and people will make fun of Miami and stuff like this. Well, remember, Nick Saban got beat by La Monroe in his first year at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am not saying that Mario Cristobal is Nick Saban, but let's not forget that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, I'm sure. What's your worst?
Mine's App State. App State, you were God's team. You know, you were God's
Apparently not.
team. Son, you know, you beat
28-3.
You beat Texas A&M. No one saw that coming. Then you beat game day comes. You beat Troy.
Hail Mary.
On a Hail Mary.
On a Hail Mary in the last seconds. Everyone's like, oh my God, they're sent from the heavens.
Yeah.
And then you lose to James Madison. There's a lot of things I could prop you up for to be successful, and we all were behind you. We all believed in you, App State. You were the team this year. Who knows?
You were the chosen one.
Who knows where happened? I mean, you had the high ground, Anakin. That's what you had. I mean, and then you just completely let everybody down, including Luke Combs.
You let Luke Combs
Is Luke
down.
Combs all right? Has anybody talked to
He's
him?
probably writing a song about it.
He's probably writing a song about it right
And
now.
Eric Church. And Eric Church.
And Eric Church. Didn't know that one, but for sure. Yeah, that too. But App State, I mean, guys, you let everybody down, including yourself. So it's disappointing.
Well, at least now maybe nobody will take App State's coach. Like Sean Clark will actually be there. Because, look, they lost Satterfield, who I know Louisville absolutely slapped South Florida around the club. But I don't know how long he's going to be there. Then you have Eli Drinkowitz, we just mentioned, Missouri, took a blowtorch to their future after yesterday. I don't know how you come back from that. I get it. The routine.
Yeah.
Lived it. Was in the business. But man, it's a tough way. It was a tough way.
I think the players will come back for a coach, man.
Ugh.
That's all you'll see.
Hey guys, if you like the content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Tell one friend about it too. We're growing like a weed. We really appreciate you. And remember, if you want to find sports without the woke and help you win the water cooler, you've come to the right place.